to being the guy that everybody's looking to go at. It's different. I have a lot to work on to be amongst the best. I feel confident in my abilities to get to that point.
This kid's unreal! Unreal!
As long as I just go out there, just keep playing, keep being the same person I have been.
This is awesome. Look at this, man. This is incredible.
And after a stunning rookie year as the 13th pick in the 2017 draft, Donovan Mitchell scored more, assisted more, and rebounded more in his second season with the Utah Jazz, leading them to the 5th seed in the very loaded Western Conference. For that effort, he's faced public discussion of a disappointing sophomore year in the NBA. Whatever the reviews, he has the Jazz in against #1 heavyweight contender Houston, and he sat with Rachel Nichols to talk all about it.
After another blowout, the Rockets take a 2-0 lead over Utah. It's been the Rockets right from the start.
What do you know about you and your team that makes you feel like, yeah, we can still fight, we can still battle here?
We've been here before. That's how I look at it. We've been overlooked since last year. This is not like it's unfamiliar territory with us. They take care of 2 at home. That was their job. They did that. Now we got to go back and take care of 2 at home. So for us, as long as we do that, as long as we stay focused on what we can control and what we do, we'll be in good shape.
Talking about comebacks, you had basically a comeback through this entire season. It was tough through November. I mean, you had a game where you topped 30 points, but 0 assists.
Yeah.
That's not like you.
No.
Was there a point when you were going through the thick of that where you doubted anything?
I think what made it worse was when we started losing as a team. We were losing games badly. We lost to, I think, Dallas by, 50 points. There was times where you're like, maybe like a one-hit wonder. Like maybe it's just because no one knew who I was and I came and just shocked the NBA. But, the biggest thing is my teammates and coaches had my back, and they all were like, it's going to turn around.
Donovan rises, fires. Oh, Donovan! Oh, Donovan! Oh, Donovan!
Who did you get advice from?
I turned to my guys, Dwayne and Chris, and just asked them,
Dwayne Wade, Chris
Dwayne
Paul.
Wade, yeah,
I just
Chris
want,
Paul,
not everybody can just be like, my guys, Dwayne and Chris. Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, for the people out there.
Yeah. They really, I talked to Dwayne for about 2 hours. I just talked to him just about what to expect in year 2. For me, having the bullseye on your back was a different situation to be in. Having everybody target you specifically, I think, really, opened my eyes a little bit. And it's one thing to hear it, and it's nothing to go through it.
One of the people you got advice from when you were trying to turn things around was, ironically, James Harden.
Yeah.
What advice did he give you then you can use against him now?
He really just told me, just stick with it. It's not all going to just be gravy. It's not all going to be great. There was times when he was in OKC where things weren't, going great. He was playing well, but things weren't like what they are now. And, you take that advice and you try to apply it, and you start to get impatient, and you're kind of like, when, and then when it happens, that's when you kind of sit back, and you're like, oh, like I see what you're saying now.
Oh! Climbing up and popping the rim! Unbelievable.
The way everyone has embraced you has been such a special part of your story. They named a bridge after you here, and where the arena sits, it sits on Stockton and Malone Avenues, basically, and then right across is your bridge.
Yeah.
So it's Stockton, Malone, and Donovan Mitchell. What did it feel like to have that happen?
To be honest, it caught me by surprise, and I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was.
It's a bridge.
So I really didn't. I thought it was something small, like a small painting, and then I go and it's this big mural of me on there. There's a huge crowd of people. I was taken back when I got there. I'm like, whoa, like, what is it? What is this? And it's just one instance. They've been great to me here in Utah. They're awesome.
All right. Well, they name a bridge across from the arena after you. You better win some playoff games.
I know. I think we have to.
A bridge, huh? Stan, you can name anything after you. What is it?
Well, there's nothing more important to our future than education. I'd want to have a school named after me, like our man Jalen Rose here.
Okay, that's a good answer. All right, can't even make fun of it. Jalen?
I probably would want a street named after me in my hometown.
Street, okay. That should happen.
I don't know,
Paul.
that's not better than the school.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Thank you.
Leadership Academy, there's nothing better than that.
Thank you,
The
Coach.
school should be on your street name, no?
Oh,
Why, like
there
that
you go.
seems
Yeah, absolutely.
easy. Okay. Oh, no.
No, listen, at first it was a street.
Okay.
I thought bridge, but I think an airplane.
Oh, my God.
I'm on an airplane so much.
I'm sorry. Like a commercial, like Southwest Airlines 321 on the Paul Pierce jet?
Yeah,
or like your own?
Maybe like Truth Airlines.
Ooh. But you know what?
Airlines though.
now.
Truth Airlines.
Yeah, I like that. How
Come
about
fly with me?
No, I will not.
How about this
Okay, fair enough.
for the city of Utah? This was a boss move.
City of Utah, Jalen?
It was a state of Utah. Salt Lake City. For the city of Salt Lake. How about
It's
this?
huge.
How about this, though? You name a bridge after him early and hope that he stays.
I see what they're doing. It's actually smart. I see what you're doing, Salt Lake. How
But
about
then, what do you do when he leaves, Paul? Potential.
Oh, we just paint over the mural. Call it something else.
he did mention in there, though, the whole getting advice from active veterans. Do you like that?
I actually don't like that because I feel like if I'm in the league and I'm trying to be one of the best and I'm talking to guys who are, you know, up there, I feel like I'm giving away my competitive edge. You know, so like, you know, that's something like for a young player, I would like rather go to a former player, Kobe Bryant or something if I'm Donovan Mitchell. You know, guys who've been, you know, Tracy McGrady, guys that play this position. There's no way I'm going to talk to a current player for that type of advice because it's just like I feel like I'm giving up a piece of me to that player.
You ready for this? You are. You are giving up a piece. You're showing a level of, I need you to help me get to where I'm trying to go.
Right.
So therefore, when I play against you, I know that.
Exactly.
And here's another thing that fascinates me about that, Beats. It's the same thing when a star player is a big-time free agent and they visit other teams, and then they go back to their original squad. It's the exact same thing. That's why if you're an A-list type of player, you can't be taking multiple team visits and then go back to your squad because you did the exact same thing he's just talking about.
I agree with everything you guys said, but this is common now. This isn't just Donovan Mitchell. This happens all the time. There's a great collegiality around the league, which none of us really like, and that's why I like what Giannis does. He doesn't work out with guys not on his team in the offseason. He does.
Turn things over to you because I believe, if I'm not wrong, Stan, this is your first class of 81 moment?
I think it is. And,
Okay.
Yes.
and I was wondering about it because I'm very old, but I was in the class of 81.
And as two
Someday.
supporters of the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy, we got to get Paul to our golf outing. I see is bad defense. It takes place
I see.
during an NBA game because I had a front row seat when Kobe Bryant scored 81 on our Raptors. Shabazz Napier, elbow your teammate in the face. Now, how about this for LaMarcus
What are you
Aldridge?
about to do here,
Beads?
buddy?
I'm going to tell you what he actually did. It was dirty defense. He hits Gary Harris right in the McNuggets.
Yeah, I heard a crunch.
I'm surprised he didn't get a fine.
Is he telling him how to
He is. He's telling
shake it
him
off?
how to shake it off.
That ain't how it works, big fella. The Pacers, one of the reasons, unfortunately, find themselves trailing 0-3, lack of communication defensively. Before you know it, Jaylen Brown gets behind Turner, goes in front of Collison, and Nate McMillan, one of the best defensive players that the league has seen, is not happy
Whoops.
with this squad. Now, how about this? The Sixers bench. There's no defending this.
Oh.
Who passed gas here?
Paul. You know what? I will say this. We feel their pain up here on this.
We feel their
table.
pain.
Yeah.
Because if that happened on this set, I'll tell you.
Look.
I'll tell you exactly what it was.
He said, was that you? Was that you?
You know who did it? The guy who not covered his nose.
Yeah, whoever smelt the dealt
Because he
it.
likes it. It's his own.
But
That's how
here's
it
the
works.
thing. Unlike First Take, if somebody farts on this show, we're going to know who did it. Right, Beats?
Max
Right,
didn't do
Beats?
it. Max didn't do
Right,
it.
Beats. Right.
Really,
right,
dude?
Beats. Right.
Everybody does it, guys. If you see anything, tweet at Jalen. Help him out. We're always looking for good plays to make the class of 81.
Way to air around.
Aren't you glad you were here for that,
Air around,
Stan?
Jay.
You dig basketball?
I'm
Obviously.
staying out of this.
If you can hear my voice, you like basketball. Check out The Jump weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Rachel Nichols alongside players, reporters, everybody talking hoops for an hour. All right, he's pulling a page out of the old Joel Embiid book. Is he playing or not? Blake Griffin hasn't played yet in this series, but he's out there warming up. Stan, we feel positive
I think he's going to play. He's ready to go. He's in uniform. He's going to go.
Something's about to happen. Can't blame you if you think you've heard everything there is to hear about James Harden. You're wrong. Chauncey Billups went all the way to Houston and learned the smallest thing in Harden's game that makes the biggest difference. Not joking. That's real. Stay tuned. Not every elite athlete has a physique that looks like it's the cover of a fitness magazine. Paul? Matter of fact, the best offensive player on the planet right now sort of defies current expectations of what an elite NBA player is supposed to look like. Reigning MVP James Harden does not have a prototypical build, and yet he's a bad man on the court. Harden set an NBA record with 32 consecutive 30-point games, while his usage percentage of just under 41, second highest in league history. Our guy Chauncey Billups went down to Houston to find out how he transforms endurance training into peak performance.
Harden, step back three. It's good. It's unguardable.
James has the best feet in the NBA. And so a lot of things that he does, one-on-one isolation moves and stuff like that, other players have tried to mimic it, and they can't do it. James's rhythm, his ability, I think it's just like dancing. It's literally like Chris Brown with a basketball. We take different moves that he already has in his bag or things that he's already done, and then we'll add a step back to that.
Step back three on the way. Wow! Butter by James Harden.
Y'all know I'm on the show, NBA Countdown, where my man Paul Pierce says that he invented the step back.
Right.
But James Harden is the master of the step back. Talk to me about that step back that James has.
Yeah, so the difference is there's been other guys in the league that try to do it, try to copy it. And what they do is they put two hands on the basketball. When you take two hands on the basketball, then you cut your steps out. So what James does is whatever move he does, he's going to stop. He's going to keep one hand on the basketball, then he can make his steps. He'll stop, he'll tap, right? And then he'll make his move, right? So I have Daniel do it full speed. So he's getting in his bag, he stops, see how that left foot kind of taps. As soon as he taps, he gets his balance, then he can push off and get that separation.
So James has one of the highest usage rates in the league. How do you train that?
The amount of responsibility that he has for our offense, you have to be in shape. So we start off every workout, he's in the weight room for about an hour. And then we get on the court, and now you're playing through fatigue, and you're still having to go game speed to get separation and get all these shots up. But now when we come to the regular season, it's a cakewalk.
If you had to identify one thing that took James from Sixth Man of the Year to the MVP of the league, what would it be?
I remember one time he asked me, do you think I can be a top 5 player in my position? The thing that separated James from these other great players was he could also pass the ball. To me, with the Thunder, he was their best player in the pick and roll. So I knew that if he got more minutes, more touches, and got his own situation, you know, I just felt like his career would really take off.
Harden to the lane, count it, and one.
I noticed with James a lot of times, like when he gets in here, if there's a defender coming, like his second step is in the defender.
So a lot of guys are trying to shy away from the contact. James is looking for it.
Do y'all drill that as y'all going through stuff, like make sure you hit his body?
What we do is I'll stay here on his hip and I'm swiping down at it. So he has to stay through the contact because most guys aren't strong enough to take that contact and still finish the play. So I'm gonna stay on his body, one dribble, go ahead, boom, I'm there, and then he's gonna have to finish through my contact.
Is James impossible to defend?
Chris Paul said it a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, so I feel okay backing him up since he said it first, but James is, to me, the best offensive player ever. You look at guys throughout our history, they're maybe arguably better scorers, but guys to be able to score the ball and assist the way he does, I don't think we've ever seen it to this level.
And he puts JaVale McGee on a poster.
All right, that was actually quite fun to watch. Obviously, he's working his tail off. As far as what he's put the most work in, if you had to pick one part of his game, what would you say it was?
Well, he has a complete package offensively, and he's making an effort defensively. But I've never in the history of the game seen one player manipulate the referees offensively the way he's done. And then what I'm saying is that they've changed a couple rules over the last few years because of how James Harden's offense dictates how he gets to the line and how he sets up his moves.
To me, it's not a skill. It's what his trainer was talking about. It's his conditioning. To have that high a usage rate and to do it every night and have that on you, for him to condition the way he has, I think is incredible, and that's what sets him apart from some of the other really highly skilled guys.
Coach, you weren't here when I said it earlier in the season, but James Harden is the only player in the history of the NBA that will lead the league at some point of his career in these 4 categories. 3-pointers made, free throws made, total assists, and total points. No player. Steph Curry's a shooter, okay? Kobe and MJ, they were scorers. Normally big physical guys get to the line like Shaq or Karl Malone. So that's what fascinates me about his game.
And then saying this, Jalen, look at these things you said on national television, but you guys picked Giannis as the MVP.
Oh, I knew it was going to come
I don't get it.
Hold on.
It's an arguable...
I voted.
We're talking about some historic stuff nobody has ever done at some point in their career, even the stuff he's done this year, but you guys don't think he's the MVP.
I voted for James Harden.
Oh, he's talking to me then.
I voted for you.
Fair enough. By the way, it's not...
And by the way, I need a vote. I need a vote.
Well, you should talk to the right people
vote.
and get an actual vote. You should have one before I should.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
you should have a vote. I agree with you.
You know what? If I could transfer my vote, I will ask if I can transfer my vote for next year. Detail, Kobe Bryant on ESPN Plus. This week, he breaks down Kawhi Leonard's unbelievable late-game moves. Start your free trial of ESPN Plus tonight. You can download the app or just visit ESPNplus.com. About a little Sports Center tonight after Rockets Jazz Game 3. Bucci and Anderson. The post-game reactions from Harden. Heisman hopeful Jake Fromm. Wow, we got the Georgia spring game already. And a full Crawford Khan fight breakdown. SportsCenter, 1 a.m., 10 Pacific on ESPN and the app. There he is. Not been great for Andre Drummond and the Pistons. 2 very lopsided defeats. Will pride kick in today, Stan?
I think it will.
I need 2020 from you today, Drake.
I hope your pride kick in because the Spurs are down 15.
Wow, Blake Griffin's active. Thanks. Looks like they're going to run first and second in the MVP voting. We'll talk Giannis. We'll talk Harden next. And Paul, not necessary.